Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Town Hall. We've got an abbreviated version tonight on a couple of key things, but we want to make sure we leave lots of time for question and answer as we move into the end of our essentially first half of the year going into the winter holiday. We've got lots going on, so there's not a lot of new things to put on the table except one thing that we'd like to share with you. As usual, you've got comments that you can pop in and throw it off on the side. I realize we may have fewer joining us tonight, although we're going to squeak in a short one so you can all break away for the Poland-Argentina game that I understand starts at 8 o'clock. World Cup has been fabulous. I know you've all been enjoying it out there. This is just a chance for us to get together and, again, get any questions on the table that might be emerging, essentially an extension of our parent meeting Monday night. Any other concerns that you may be having right about now. Thought I would turn tonight into a fireside chat. So how about we have this on the screen? And I'll bring in my two guests. Let's start with our board chair, Kay LaBanca. Kay, good evening to you.
Good evening, John. How are you this evening?
Good. I mean, as you know, I'm getting over this flu bug that's going around, and I know quite a few of our kids and staff and adults and parents have been struggling with this as well. I think we're keeping the doctors really busy these last couple of weeks. It's nice to have it be a normal flu bug and not something else, but still didn't make it any less daunting.
No, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're on the mend slowly but surely.
Yeah. Well, what do you think on the board front, Kay? We just finished up our last board meeting. Any highlights from that you want to trot out first before we bring in our next guest?
You know, we have a lot of amazing things happening within the board, and really proud of all of our trustees, especially the committee chairs, for their continued, service and leadership. I think, people wonder, what do we do? What's going on? We have some really great board goals for the year. We are making a lot of great decisions across the board, from updates of the master facilities plan, directors goals, and the future with you in the school. There's so much that's happening, and our first goal, first and foremost, has been community engagement for this year. So I don't want to steal the thunder about what we're going to be talking about, but it's a time for gratitude, and I express my gratitude towards not only the trustees, but everyone in the school community and the PTO that puts such great efforts into the reports, into the tireless work each and every day to making our school so great for our children. And it's really a privilege to serve, knowing that, we have such an amazing community and place for our kids to learn, grow, and thrive in. I have two young boys, and we are not immune to the illnesses as well. I think boy number one, we had a younger son had a near infection, and this other one may be sick. Tis the season for all of this, but through it all, we remain resilient, we remain positive, and it's just such an amazing energy in the building this year, and so many parents and families getting involved. And we're going to talk about ways to connect and get together as well, starting in the new year, that we think with these family dinners and other opportunities to engage with us, that we look forward to that kind of natural and organic dialogue that can always happen in a formal board meeting setting, but then sometimes they just happen by accident. It's exciting to have planned opportunities for the engagement as well.
That sounds great. Well, let's use that as a segue, and we'll bring Mr. Mike Teskey, Director of Development, in. And Mike, good evening to you, sir.
Hi there.
Thanks for joining us around the fire this evening as we talk about this.
Yeah.
So the one obvious announcement that we have is we've relooked at calendar over the next remaining 2 weeks of school, and realized that we were overly ambitious in thinking that we could get our first family dinner done in this calendar year. And we've decided it's far better for us to come back in January and kick it off with our family dinner. But Mike, why don't you take us through that? And we have more details now, so we can share that as well, of what we intend for that event to kind of look like.
Yeah, so basically, we have this wonderful facility, and we want to look at as many opportunities as we can to share the space with us and use some spare time, some times we have open on the calendar to gather the community together in a way that is comfortable and easy for people. And we had this idea that Friday night, people are often tired at the end of a work week, and we can partner with Solavoda and create a family dinner for people that they can just order and show up, and we'll have a delicious meal for them. And that's the idea. So we'll do these monthly, and we've got them calendared. They're on the public calendar now, starting at 6:30. And it's just a time. We'll have a set menu that we'll publish in advance this first time because of the generosity of Marco, the partner of Rachel Caldwell, the director at PSI. He's a chef, and he's been teaching these cooking classes, and the mushroom risotto is really popular. And so we're going to.
I hear. I hear it's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Kick it off with them, and then in partnership with the Solo Voto, we'll have a spaghetti bolognese, because who doesn't like spaghetti? And then just to keep the Italian theme going, basically a minestrone soup, some garlic bread, a simple meal. But we'll have games tables for kids. We'll have some music going on. And I think there'll be hopefully some members of the board to engage in conversation with people and share a little bit about what's going on in the board, a chance for people to ask questions, but a chance for people just to break bread together. And that's just a nice thing to do, right? So
we're excited about that, and just kind of taking on that motif. If we could have a fireplace in the cafeteria, we'd do this too, just to make it that homey feel. And that's what we're looking for. We do want to have conversation, and we do want to have some of that conversation steer to the school and what we're doing in the school, and make it an opportunity for Q&A in small group settings, maybe a short presentation. We hope in the future to wrap in a little bit of our wonderful student musical talent at various events. But it really is a board opportunity to get connected with the community. We'll have displays up that people can take a look at as well. Certainly renderings as we move into our master facilities plan. And just try to really give each of our board committees an opportunity to share a little bit about what's happening and what's going on. But do it again in a very family-friendly format in our cafeteria for a nice meal together. And the good news, as I think Mike was hinting at, is you don't have to do anything. You just come, and you don't have to clean up the dishes, and you don't have to cook anything. And we're going to have this wonderful meal by a very competent chef working in collaboration with all of our wonderful staff to be able to present this meal to your family. It'll be a small cost for it, but we're keeping it down to just what it costs us to make things. So we'll have the prices in more detail when we get the sign up rolling out. And I think, Mike, we said sign up. We were ready to roll out next Wednesday in eNotes, right?
Yep.
Great.
We're all set to go. But of course, given the fact that we're on break, we wanted to get this on people's calendar right now, because when we come back, we'll only have a week to go before we'll only have 5 days before before that first event. But looking forward to it, and we can share notes about what we did over the holidays.
There you go. And also get us primed and ready for everything that's coming in the spring, because not only do we have the strategic work in the master facilities plan, but we've also got accreditation work, and these conversations will lend themselves to that work as well and help us keep ourselves on target. Mike, do we want to shift just a minute to ASW for Ukraine and give an update on what kinds of things are happening there? I know we didn't really invite Legita and the whole crew tonight, but I know you've been working in partnership with them. It's a tough season right now, and we're really trying to figure out how we can keep going for these people who are in difficult circumstances.
Well, let me just tell you just one anecdote about what has happened, because we're doing everything we can to spread the word and everything we can to raise money, because whether we're supporting people at the Lipova Center, and to the tune of about 150 people per day coming to get needed food supplies, but we're also trying to, when we can, gather funds to put together shipments to go into Ukraine to help the people of Vladimir, right? To keep that going. We just received word, a confirmation that one of somebody whom I didn't have the pleasure of working with, so I don't know the person's name exactly, but a former teacher at the school, now in Canada, is fully aware and supporting of our efforts, and their school up in Canada adopted ASW for Ukraine and created a fundraiser and is sending us more than $5,000.
Wow. Oh, that was
Awesome.
right. And to the extent that I could plant a seed, that if other people have friends who are back home, wherever home is, and are knowing that their school can also sponsor an event and adopt ASW for Ukraine as a cause, it's a great way for the community to rally around an incredibly effective program, right? This is all volunteer driven. If I had to put dollars and cents on it, basically 97 cents out of every dollar donated goes towards food, getting food and supplies into people. There's so little overhead.
There for you, Mike. It's Sherry.
Okay, Sherry. Thank
English
you.
PE teacher. She was here from 2013 to 2015.
So thank you, Sherry.
Sherry.
So thank you, Sherry, so much. And I have been in contact with her to get a little bit more insight into what they did, so we can to put a spotlight on it, and hopefully, like I said, plant a seed that other schools can do this and adopt ASW for Ukraine. Because John, as you said, the need continues, and it's only getting colder.
Yeah.
We
were
have
all watching the news feeds on the power outages and the lack of infrastructure. Yeah. We were reporting that early on. And remember, the other infrastructure that's gone is the normal network of food distribution. So it's always we need to keep in mind that this is not over yet, and it's only getting worse. We are partnering, at least for information, with some other agencies. We know of another agency that's sending a lot of foodstuffs into Kherson, where it's quite a bit worse. Our focus has been more in Western Ukraine, near the border, where again they're bereft of any kind of a supply network from the center of Ukraine. And of course, we're getting things over the border, but there's not a lot headed that direction from here. And then we have to speak to the Warsaw situation, where more refugees are now coming in as a result of the situation and the winter. And many of the centers that we're serving, like us, that we were partnering with, that we're also doing this work, are closed down now. And only a few are left. And we're one of the few. And this continuous line of people that's showing up at Lipova Center on a daily basis speaks to the challenge that's still ahead of us. And we're only just beginning into winter. Winter really is going to carry all the way through February, March. And we need to be up for that challenge. So I guess the word out to everyone is Rally Up is still up and running. You can still go to the aswarsaw.org website. You can send that link hither and yon. We just need sharing out there. We need everybody to share with 5 people tonight, or with their social media platforms or Facebook or wherever they can go. Share ASW for Ukraine. Share our link to Rally Up. Share the link to our website and the campaign, because we need all of that goodwill that's working its way around the world to continue to generate goodwill for the people that we're serving. And as we encouraged from the very beginning, particularly organizations that could commit to monthly or regular donations that would get us through 3, 4, 5 months, so that we can get into the spring and have a good picture of what's going to happen in Ukraine and what's on the horizon. That's what we're looking for. But we'll also take those small donations too, whatever we can get to keep the work going. As a school, Mike, what's the current total on Rally Up?
260,000 right now, but I think we're anticipating, if the good fortune happens that we anticipate before we go on break, we anticipate, fingers crossed, crossing 300,000 with some things that are in the pipeline. So
you heard it here first. We've predicted and made a challenge for ourselves. We're going to hit that 300,000 barrier. And that's just unheard of for a school fundraising platform to do that level of work. And our kids are all helping to manage this and monitor it and push it forward. But this school has done, as I said at the UN Assembly, more than $250,000, and now pushing past 300,000 in direct aid to Ukrainians. And I'll just remind everybody, I think if you look at charitable organizations out there, we have the lowest overhead of anybody because it's literally all volunteer work. And
Right.
it's literally
Amazing.
engaged.
Amazing.
Mike?
Can I throw one more thing in there?
Shoot.
I've seen in the past week, and I've also had somebody ask, and I just want to give the fact that it's the season in which people oftentimes give gifts to their family members, and sometimes family members don't need things.
Exactly.
And so what we're seeing now increasingly right now are people giving gifts to ASW for Ukraine in the name of a friend or a loved one.
Yep.
And I just want to encourage that as another route people can take.
And we should mention too that we're still taking at Leap of a Center donations of other types as well.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a great opportunity. I know typically this is spring cleaning, we call it, but there is a winter version where you look for those things that you know you're not going to need anymore. As you know, Christmas is rolling around. Bring those down to Leap of a Center, and they'll be put to good use. I've got a big bag of clothes that I just sorted through the other night upstairs, so I think that's coming.
We're doing the same. Oh.
But yeah, it's just we just don't know right now what lies on the horizon, and right now everything we can see is daunting challenges for a country that is going to be going into the depths of winter with potentially very limited resources to just heat and survive. And if you think about that layers of survival things that you need first before you can do anything else.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yep.
It's all about heat and well-being and food. And I should quickly hasten to mention that we've got a nice little, we've learned through our efforts. And so we've got this nice box now that we pre-pack that takes care of a family for a day or a week. I can't remember, but it's like we've got it figured out. We know how to get the food and get it packed and maximize our pallet packing and our shipments so that we can get the maximum benefit to where it needs to go.
What is that?
I'm trying to think of what else we've got going. Well, we've got obviously next week more concerts coming up. So we got those things going strong. We have our the term is escaping me now. Our vendors, our holiday bazaar is coming next week on Friday. We also have a unique opportunity that's been in the elementary section of eNotes. Scroll down and take a look at it. For children primarily, but families are welcome to come. The British Embassy is coming in with a pantomime show. They're using our facility. They'll be here as well, but they've got space for a limited number of our family members. And there's an email address in eNotes if you want to reach out for tickets to that event. But we'll have about 300 and such people here on Friday next week, giving us a wonderful show that all of the proceeds are coming back to ASW for Ukraine.
Beautiful.
And there'll also be a little bit of an additional fundraising sale in the cafeteria during intermission as well, and just trying to maximize everything that we have left on the table. That's pretty much it. Then we slide into obviously the final week, and we are out of here on the 16th. And we're wanting to use this opportunity to just remind everybody to have a wonderful holiday. Again, we're just really happy with the way the year's gone and how things have come together.
Absolutely.
There's just an amazing synergy in the community universe. PTO General Meeting Friday, I hasten to remind you of that. That's coming up. So we want to make sure one in before we go off to the holidays. But just many thanks to PTO, to parents, to everyone for all that they have contributed to make sure that we've had such a wonderful, not quite first half of the year, because remember, we don't finish our semester until January, but that's where we're going. We do have new students joining us in January. We just completed missions rounds for new students joining us. We do have some departures, not a lot this year, but a typical number that we would normally expect as a school. particularly with students who sometimes come from Southern Hemisphere calendars and have to leave. So that's pretty much the norm as well. There's another one here, just more details about next week. Next Tuesday evening, 6 o'clock at the theater, high school choir, wind ensemble band concert, come one, come all. There's the PTO reminder for the general meeting this Friday, so let's remember that. And I think that's probably it. I want to leave some time for just questions out there, though. So please, those of you on Facebook or YouTube can shoot your questions to the chat stream, and we see them here online, and I can put them up on the screen. Are there any questions about anything that we're doing? I think we answered most of the terrace metrics questions on Monday night with parents, but if there's any remainders, certainly happy to address that. It's going fairly well. We've, as would be any case with a new implementation, we found a few little glitches here and there, but I think generally speaking, it's getting done quite quickly and simply. And you'll see a note in eNotes tonight that you've gotten already about when the first parent reports will be coming out.
Oh, great.
Let's see. Oh, and then the middle school dance. No parents, sorry. But if parents want me to stop, have been known to be absconded for that, so I can give you reports if you text me. No,
I've chaperoned many such a dance. It is an exciting time. Yes.
The students are quite excited about this. They're looking forward to dressing up in a holiday fashion, and I think they've created quite a nice program for the night. So we're excited about that.
Love a wonderful time, I'm sure.
Yes, they do sneak in to see their
What?
kids.
Yes.
Yeah, that has happened. We have to be careful.
It is.
And there's a we can't wait. Yay. So the dance is a really wonderful opportunity. I do mention health, just as I said, I'm recovering from the flu, but I recommend the normal health standards this time of year. Make sure you're washing hands really good. Make sure you're coughing into your sleeve. Everybody remind your kids about that.
Hydrate.
And hydrate. And if you're heavy with symptoms, runny nose, coughing, and those kinds of things, you should probably stay home until your symptoms subside, as I did in order to protect my colleagues here at school. So take that as a note. It does seem to be mostly a flu bug going around. We don't seem to see much incident of COVID within the context of this. It was kind of interesting to see flu back on the table again. Come the new year in January, we'll bring Dr. O back to talk about the second half of the year and some of our health initiatives to keep working on the wellness front. So we'll look forward to that as well. Any other questions out there? Please throw them up on the screen and engage with us. We're just having a nice cup of something warm in front of the fire here. So please pop something.
Now go back to my tea.
Otherwise, we'll make this a short one here in about another minute and let you guys go get some popcorn pops so you're ready for the game that starts in 36 minutes. Poland, Argentina. Ooh. What do you think, Mr. Terry?
Well, I'm rooting for Poland, right? Lewandowski got his first Lewandowski got his first World Cup goal last week.
It was awesome. That was a great moment.
We'll see.
Oh, there it is. Here's the goal, Poland.
There you go. Love it.
Let's go.
All right. Final thoughts, Kay?
Final thoughts. Grateful for all of you. This is an amazing community. It's our last year here, and I try not to actively think of that because I get really upset. So I've already told a few people we're just going to live in their basement next year. It's fine. We're not actually going to leave. But no, we are so blessed, and it's been so wonderful to see everyone back in the building, to see I was at the middle school concert last week, and just amazing artwork everywhere. It's very much all about the kids, and they're just omnipresent in all that we do and everything we see. And that's how it should be, right? Like at the end of the day, it's about them and all of us, coming together, and can't wait to see what's in store for 2023. Can't believe it's December tomorrow. Insanity. But want to wish everyone a very healthy, safe, wonderful holiday, winter break, full of everything you love, wherever in the world that may take you. But my father's coming back to Warsaw. He loved it last year, so he's very pumped to come back. And then we head to Athens, Greece. So we are got to take advantage, right? Like wherever you are to experience what you want to do and see. So thank you, John and Mike. It's a pleasure working with both of you and, the entire board, A-team, and so many teachers and parents across the community. It really does take a village, and these, our kids are worth it. And thank you for the opportunity to serve. It really is a blessing. So
Thanks. Mike, final thoughts?
No, I think just keep, as you said, keep our friends in Ukraine close to your hearts, and do what you can to support the students and our community's efforts of supporting them.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I'll offer similar holiday greetings, since I know we'll see you around school, but this is our last town hall before the end of the calendar year. We'll see you in 2023. Sometime in late January, after our first family gathering, we'll come back together in town hall, see how it went, and also get a heads up on accreditation work, which kicks off in earnest when we get back. So got lots of thanks out there, and go Warriors, everyone. So glad to see you, and some happy holidays. And we echo the same from all of ours to all of you. Happy holidays, and enjoy the remainder of the days before the holiday break.
Go Poland.
Go Poland. All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.